How's it going? My name is Chisolm, and if you found this video, then you've been researching bidet toilets, and you stumbled upon a company called Toto, which makes very nice and very expensive ones, and you probably searched for some reviews, and they're very hard to come by. Usually it's just ones that people are selling, companies that are selling them. Toto has one that's basically just a really nice advertisement with no speaking, just like a moving pamphlet that's, beautiful, but doesn't show anything about the features or how it works, but that's what I'm here for. So I just got this recently and figured I would share it with anyone who was interested. And if you're not interested, because the price point of this will certainly throw a lot of people off. And understandably so. And it did me too at first. So here's the story of why I even obtained this thing. My wife, who is from Europe originally, she has been wanting a bidet toilet for a long time. I've never used one. She's used them in hotels and stuff. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to look into them. And so I'm the kind of person that once I start down the rabbit hole, there's no stopping. I can't tell you how many videos and searches I did. And different companies make different ones, and they each have their pros and cons. Single-handedly across the board, the overwhelming majority of people say that Toto is the Cadillac of these things. They are, well, it depends on their model. Their top of the line model is made exclusively in Japan, every single part of it. As it goes down, parts of it will be made in Japan, parts will be made in other countries, and then they kind of all come together to make the unit. I don't know the pros or cons of that. I mean, I'm sure the other countries that make it are just fine, but I didn't look into the details of that. So they make everything from this top of the line to just a seat that has the wash features and all of that stuff, to ones that are a combination like with a toilet. And then they have the one that I was looking at and really leaning towards for the features, the look, and the price point, which was still expensive, was, if I remember correctly, called the Washlet. It's Washlet Plus or something. Don't quote me on that. It's very easy to find. But basically, it's a seat combined with the toilet, and they merge together, so that like the cables and stuff and hoses that come from the seat, there are specific holes and stuff that go into the toilet bowl so that they're all hidden and concealed. It gives it a very streamlined look. And so and I don't know, I was looking at one that was going to be around $2,000, maybe $2,500, something like that. And I was like, I can't believe I'm spending this on a toilet. And, but we had some money saved up, and, we hadn't done any big projects recently. So it was like, well, and my wife really wanted it. So, and I'm like, yeah, I'm sure I'll love this damn thing. So, so my wife and I, just got married last summer, and my mom wanted to get us a really nice wedding present, and she was like, I want to get something that you want, you're going to use, and it's going to last a long time. So let's just wait on it, and we'll just figure it out together. And because I didn't have any idea at the time. So then a number of months go by, and then I was telling her about this research of the bidet toilets, and I was like, yeah, there's just these really nice ones, but they're stupid expensive. And then she was like, well, how about if I pitch in and help with that? And you can get it. And I was like, say no more. So we have the NX1, as you saw in the title. They have the NX1 and the NX2. And the NX2 and the NX1 are exactly the same, except that the NX2 has a light, like I can't remember what you call it, some sort of light that kills germs. I guess kind of similar, like when you go to like a hair salon and they put the combs under there, and the light, like, gets it clean or something. I'm sure it's a very high-end version of that, because that is the only feature that it has, as I understand, compared to the NX1, and it makes it double the price. So basically, this light is a $10,000 light. I was like, yeah, I don't need the light. I'll occasionally clean the toilet myself, because it has a cleaning feature built into it, which I will go into. But so we got the NX1, which was 10,000. It's still every time I say it out loud, I'm like, I cannot believe that I have a toilet that costs $10,000. That is so fucking absurd. But I'm gonna tell you this. It is badass. Oh yeah. One of my friends, he has a bidet seat that he put in his toilet, you know, a low budget one. I don't know. I think he said it was like $500 or something. Don't quote me on that price either. But anyway, he was like, everyone should have a bidet seat. He was like, I don't know what we were thinking. He goes, think of it this way. If you accidentally got some shit on your arm, like, would you just grab some tissue and go, yeah, I'm good? He goes, no, you'd wash it. Like, well, I can't really argue with you there. All right, I understand your point. But it's awesome. And here it comes. So here's our bad boy. It is beautiful. It's very egg-shaped. We have it in this water closet, so it's gonna make a little streaming a little tricky. But I will make it work. And this is the remote. So as you sit there, and you can change things. But as you will see, you don't really need that remote that much, because it saves all the settings. And now, as I get closer and walk up to it, you'll see it open. It's pre-misting the bowl. That's what that white water sound. And there's a light that comes on back there, a night light. These are power, and that tells you it's clean and does other stuff. Oh, I haven't taken these labels off. I need to take those off. All right, let me switch to the tripod now. So I'm just going to go kind of in order as it comes to my head, as it goes along. But I will get everything covered that you need and want to see about this thing. First of all, it has so many settings on this remote. This remote is attached with a magnet. It's very heavy, solid. A lot of the reviews I read, the only complaint about these was that the remote felt kind of cheap and plasticky. I don't know how old or how long ago they've updated it, but this is all metal, and it's heavy, solid. It's fantastic. It's got the front, it's got all these buttons and these, and then a save setting thing back here, and as you can see it, like a little screen there. I'm just gonna kind of tell you all the features about this. If people comment and they want, I can go over a detailed walkthrough kind of instruction thing about this, if it's wanted or needed. The instruction manual is unbelievably good. It's the best instruction manual I have ever seen from any company. It is incredible. Within this, there are multiple settings for everything. There's 5 different temperatures. You can make the seat, the temperature of the seat as you sit on it. Same thing with the water temperature that sprays on your butt. There's 5 different pressure settings, how forceful the water is coming up. Different temperatures for the dryer, the air dryer on your butt. Just a whole bunch of shit. There's a standard setting, the default setting. And the default, when we got it, I don't know if it was intentionally like that or not, but it was on hot. I think it was on the highest setting, or maybe the next highest setting for the seat. And I like warm things. Like, I take really hot showers. This seat was uncomfortably hot. Like, it was you're like, is something wrong with this? I mean, it wasn't painful, but it was, like when you're in a car and you have heated seats, and then once you get warm enough and the heated seat is just making you like, making your butt and your bottom of your thighs, like your hamstrings, like kind of uncomfortable. Take that and multiply it times 10. That's what it's like. So whatever it is, there's always a standby. Whatever you have it set at, there's a standby, and the standby is like level 1, but it's always running. So when you come in the middle of the night and this thing, and you pop your butt on there, it's already warm. And whatever setting you have, it warms up within a couple seconds. Like, it is so fast. As far as the water that comes out that sprays your butt, there's an instant hot water tank that's built into here, and I guess it's always running, because as soon as that water hits you, like if you have it on the hottest, it's instantly hot. It's fantastic. So I can hit this button and raise the seat up. You notice when I walked in that it was just this part. It wasn't this. So there's like if you need to come in to pee, you can just hit this button and raise it. There is a setting on here that you can make it so that when you walk up, it will automatically open both. I come in the middle of the night, and the toilet's so comfortable and warm and nice that instead of standing to pee, I just sit down like I'm a chick. I'll sit, and I'm not ashamed at all. It's great. The seat is incredibly comfortable. It's very contoured. When you walk up to it and it opens, there's 5 different distance settings that you can have it set. So you can make it start to open from really far away. When you get up off the toilet, there's a setting for how long you want it to wait. There's just two options, 5 seconds and 15 seconds before it'll flush after you stand up. You can still be in this room. And then the auto close, you can set, there's 2 different settings, like 25 seconds or 90 seconds, how long the lid stays open. The flush, if you have it set up to open, it'll flush before the lid closes, or if you have it on the shorter one, it basically flushes and starts doing its thing when the lid closes. You can also set it to not make it flush or do anything until after the lid closes, if that's your preference. I like to keep it open because I like to watch it do its thing because it's really cool. The wand that comes out, it's after it's flushed, it comes out and washes itself and gets if any poop on it. Not that there really is, but I can't make the wand come out because the only way to make wand come out is to hit the wash button. And if I did, it's just going to shoot water up. I don't want to do that. I guess you could put cellophane down, but then that's too much work. But yeah, there's a cool wand. The wash feature, it has straight up, kind of straight up, the forceful, or it sprays out across. It's not as much pressure, I guess because it's more dispersed. It doesn't seem like it's as effective of cleaning you. There's different settings on the wand. You can make it go just straight, or you make it go kind of pulses, or you could make, and in addition to that, you can make it oscillate so that the wand goes back and forth like this, kind of in an area. It goes about that far back and forth. It's not enough to go too far forward. It's just enough to just kind of help wash your area. You feel like you're, like if you were taking the little extender thing out of the shower and you were like, it's awesome. And so this, with the little lady on it, so my wife sat on it the first time. She was the first one to use it, and we hadn't read any instructions. She was like, I'm going to see, this is the bidet section. And she hit this button because there's a little woman there, and then it's spraying on her butt. And when she hit it, she goes, I must not have been sitting on it right, because it didn't hit my butt, and hit the other part. And I was like, that's the bidet part. I was like, that's what that is. I was like, this is the thing that looks like a butt. This is the butt part. Either that or there's a boob washing feature. You can just lean over, you know, stupid guy humor. So yeah, there's lots of different wash options at temperature. There's 4 user settings. So here's a little user guide. If I hit it once, it'll go 1 beat, 2, 3, 4, 1. And for each one of those, you pick your pressure and the pressure of the water shooting up and the position. Oh yeah, you can move the position to lock it, like how far in, because some people like to sit further back, some sit further forward. Some people are bigger and smaller, and so you want that wand to be shooting exactly in the right spot. And so once you find your right spot, you can hit these little buttons. This moves it back and forth. This moves it. This is pressure. This is if you just want to do everything manually while you're sitting on it. But everything on the back is the set savings. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I'm getting more into the remote part. I'm just trying to go over all the features of this thing. So you can set it for your user, and then like, so for me, I'm number 2, and then I hit and go beep beep, and then it's gonna be the water temperature I want, and the pressure and the position. Everything's gonna be ready to go for me, for my liking. Then when you're done, you stand up, and it flushes. And then it cleans itself. Also, there's a deodorizer. The deodorizer, I thought that maybe it was some sort of scent cartridge. It's not. It's like a, and it's in here somewhere. I saw in the instructions. It's, for the best I can tell, it's kind of like one of those filters that you have in your refrigerator to keep the smells out that you replace like once a year. I think it's similar to that. So it blows. So the first time we used it, we were sitting on the toilet and it was making noise and it sounded like this fan. And I was like, what is that? What, is this normal? Is it supposed to be doing this? Blah, blah, blah. And then when you stand up, it goes through its thing, it flushes, and then it washes itself and cleans itself off and does this, washes the wand. And then at the same time, it's doing that fan thing still. And so it's a deodorizer, and it blows air through it, through that little cartridge. And it's something that you periodically, like every 6 months or something, you clean out with like a dried toothbrush. Probably not the toothbrush that you're going to use in your mouth. That is up to you. But so we decided there was an option to turn this deodorizer air fan thing off. Oh, it got bored with me. To turn it off while you're sitting on the toilet. The default is to have it'll run as soon as you sit down. Oh, it just saw my hand move. And there's the pre-mist. It does that, it puts water in there so that it helps poop not stick to it. It's just moistening the bowl. I think of everything, huh? We have it set to do that and set it off while we're sitting on it. Because we didn't like the noise or whatever. It's like to sit there in peace while we're pooping. Who knows? Maybe it'll be effective. I haven't really. I should do a test. I should run it for like a week so I can compare it and see how effective it is, and see if like, and sit there and think, well, that should have been stinkier, because I know. When it should have been a stinky one and I didn't smell it as much. I wonder how effective it is. So this thing knows when you're sitting on it, that there's a sensor on here. Now when you got it, it had a little sticker on it that showed you where the sensor is. But that's how it's right in here somewhere. One of the features of this, and I think it's only the Neorest, I'm not positive, but it's on the expensive models. So now when I'm stand up, it's going to end up, in a little bit, it's going to flush. Oh, I want to add some. It's got 2 flush features. It's got a light flush and a heavy flush.
and that is for poop and pee. And it knows that based on how long you sit on here. It's like a timer. And if it thinks you just peed, it won't run that big clean cycle and the wand doesn't come out. So, oh, there's that fan. Hear it? So it's not putting a fragrance out. It doesn't smell like it's just freshening the air, I guess. You know, kind of like an air, well, literally is an air filter. And it'll stop here in a minute, or a few seconds. Here it goes. Right on command. So this EWATER thing, it's like EWATER Plus, and it takes regular tap water. I thought like, oh, there's a chemical in there. It takes regular, but it doesn't. It takes regular tap water and turns it into a cleaning agent. I was like, that is the biggest scam advertising of all time. And then I researched it, and it's not. It's something that there actually is, and it's not related to Toto. Like, it's this chemical thing, and I don't have all the terms. It has to do with electricity, or electrical current being run through water, and it separates the ions and creates something called chlora blah, 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 blah. And it takes the compounds of the water and breaks them apart so that now together it creates, when it's separated, it makes some sort of something acid, but it's not literally acid, it's still water. But it turns it, when these compounds are separated, it turns this into a cleaning agent. And then after a short time, they bind back together, and then it's just regular tap water again. I don't know. But what they said, what everything I read online is that compound that they created by separating it turns it into a bacterial fighting cleaning agent that's, I think it said 80 more times, or 80 times stronger than chlorine or bleach, whatever they said. Something ridiculous. You're like, what? And but it doesn't smell. But it's still just water, so there's no smell and there's nothing like that. But it's a very precise process, and if it's done incorrectly, it can be, I don't know. It either doesn't work, or it's dangerous, or something. I don't know. But it's one of the things that makes this toilet so expensive, in addition to all the other features, is this thing. And so at the end of the wash, it will run the E-light thing, and it dispenses water in it. But what it's doing is it fights it cleans all the bacteria that would be in there. It's unbelievable. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling. It was really interesting reading about the process too. So now I'm gonna flush. See it like pump? There's a pump system in there. It's like an airplane one, you know, it goes, so you will never get anything stuck in here. It says in the manual that the strong one, that you can take single ply. I mean, no one uses single ply, but it'll flush 33 feet of single ply in there without clogging. That is unbelievable. But I want this thing to go through its cleaning cycle so that you can see it. Okay, there's a deodorizer. The wand's going to come out and clean here in a minute. You can see what it looks like. Come on, baby. Come on. You can do it. Here we go. Okay, there's the E-light thing, and it actually turns the light on. And the wand should come out here in a minute. No. Why? Oh, slides in because I didn't wash. I didn't hit the wash feature because I didn't want it to spray up everywhere. Yeah, that makes sense, right? Well, you just have to believe me on that. Since this has a pump, and it's not just a regular toilet where it just works on gravity, you know, where as long as your water's running, whether you have electricity or not, you can always use the toilet. This needs electricity to flush, and if your power goes out, you won't be able to use it. But it gave us this little bag with a little instruction manual, so you put batteries in here, and then there's instructions on what to do, where to plug it in, and you go back here and plug this thing in there, and then hit the button, and it'll flush. They've thought of everything. It's like you spent $10,000 on a toilet. That's it. That's all I got. It's the real deal, and there's probably other things that I haven't even mentioned, and it really does clean you well too. Like, I was a little skeptical. I was like, isn't it just like running some water on you? But because of the force and everything, like, it gets you clean, and especially being a guy. Because a guy is going to be dirtier than a girl because we have hair. So it's amazing, and it's cool to look at, and it's cool to watch it. I actually changed the setting. Originally I had it so that it would, you know, it flushes very quickly, and then I had it close the lid on the fastest setting, but then it was doing all the cleaning cycle, like when the lid was closed, and I was like, no, I want to watch it do it. At some point I'll probably get tired of it and just make it close quickly. But oh, and that night light, you can, they thought of everything. So this night light is on auto, so it pops up as soon as it knows that you walk up, and it stays on for like a minute after you leave, and then we'll shut off. You have the option of, on the back of this remote, setting it so that it's like this, just auto for, you know, like part of the day, and then you could make it so that, set it and say, from midnight until 6 in the morning, I want that light on all the time. And so that way when you come to the bathroom at night, you can see where you're going. I don't have it set that way just because I don't need it. We get enough light from the windows that we can see where we're going. But cool feature. And I'm sure I missed a lot of other of the small little things. There's an energy saver. I'm trying to remember all the menus on the remote. And once where I was like, that's cool. Nothing I need. But basically everything it can do is you're able to turn it off if you want. But I don't know. If you have any more questions, or any questions at all, not anymore, you haven't asked one, because all you've been doing is listening to me. Put them in the comments, and I will answer them the best I can. Let me know if anyone wants detailed walkthrough on this thing. If just like one person or two people says, yeah, I want to see it. If I'm bored one day and I feel like doing it, I'll do it. But don't be mad at me if I don't. But if I get like 20 people that say, yes, please do a walkthrough on the remote, I've been looking for that. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll be your huckleberry. All right. And I'll tell you this, my friend was right about the bidet thing. It's awesome. Even if you buy the cheap model that you just attach, like a toilet seat that just attaches to your current toilet, it won't be as fancy and it won't do all the stuff, but just the fact that it cleans, and it probably won't have heated water, but the fact that it cleans you instead of using toilet paper is pretty cool. Like, technically I never have to use toilet paper again. Now, the dryer, it's not like one of those hand dryers in a public bathroom that's like, there's a dryer. And like I said, you can turn the, like it's pretty strong. It's not a hair dryer strong, but it's stronger than you think. It's not like, it's pretty forceful. But it's also it's blowing down and your butt is here. So it's not directly hitting it. Now, as far as like for females who don't have any hair, it's gonna dry it. And when you I have it on the highest setting, so it's warm air. It's not hot, but it's pretty damn warm. If you sit there for a couple minutes, it'll dry it off. Now for a guy who has hair, you got it. There's water droplets on there, and I have sat there and gotten completely dry, but it's taken a while. But if you get on your phone, you're on Facebook or whatever, you're not in a rush, you don't have time, you can do it that way. I tend to just take like one square of toilet paper and just blot off, and just get the excess water, but it's still like my butt's still kind of damp. Then I sit there for a minute and let that dryer do its thing, and then by the time I pull up my pants, good to go, dry, clean. It's awesome. All right, that's all I got. I think that's all the butt talk I can handle today. All right, for the bargain price of $10,000, this thing can be yours. I bought this from a company called minibidets.com. Not mini as in mini, but M-A-N-Y. I found them on YouTube. They have a bunch of stuff. It's a mom and pop shop. I'm not affiliated with them. They're not paying me to do this. If you guys stumble upon this video, Mini Bidets, and you guys want to thank me for mentioning you, and you want to send me another one of these for free, I've got extra bathrooms. I would gladly put one in. But they're a great shop. They were awesome to deal with. They answered their phone immediately. They've been around for a long time, mom and pop shop. When I was looking around at prices for these, I'm guessing that they must be price locked or something, whatever that's called. Because it seemed like every single place was selling them for the same amount. And if you found one for cheaper, it was suspect. There's like an older model of it. You had to be diligent to read the model number and be like, am I getting a really good deal here, or am I not getting the same product? And it was number 2 on that. I'm now a lifetime bidet toilet guy. Shh, don't tell my friends. All right.